Hello everyone, and happy Tuesday. So June is still Pride Month in our world here in Rhode Island at our place, UCC. So I'm going to be sharing a little bit about LGBTQ and stories that teach us how to be people of faith from Whosoever for LGBTQ plus Christians since 1996. Written by Gary Simpson in Faith and Witness. Queer and trans people of faith frequently hear that they cannot be queer or trans and be Christian, or that they cannot be queer or trans and be Muslim, or that they cannot be queer and trans and be Jewish. Our logical, philosophical, or theological arguments might not convince these naysayers, but our personal stories and our faith stories have the power to inspire people and to change lives and opinions. Stories are powerful. We are people of story. We find stories in family, novels, biographies, film, music, television, and sacred scriptures. Stories play a key role in defining ourselves, our families, and our faith traditions. I hope that by sharing stories, people can better understand how we can rebuild our houses of worship after anything that causes us not to be there. And we can hold services that are fulfilling and uplifting. Our stories have the power to help people understand how to live out the faith. For example, I followed Rachel Held Evans on Twitter without knowing much about her. She was an American Christian columnist, blogger, and author. According to Wikipedia, her book, A Year of Biblical Womanhood, was on the New York Times e-book nonfiction bestseller list. Christian bisexual activist Eliel Cruz tweeted this quotation of Evans after we learned that Evans had died. "I thought God wanted to use me to show gay people how to be straight. Instead, God used gay people to show me how to be a Christian." Queer and trans stories of faith can help communities of faith understand how to respond to changing community needs. My hope is that my sharing two stories today will inspire people of faith and people of principle to live in harmony with the spirit of the ancient Rabbi Jesus. A man on Twitter has the account @tweet-chazon. He responded to a tweet asking, "What is the kindest thing a stranger has done or said to you?" Oh God, I can't even tell this story and not cry. I used to manage an LGBT bookstore when bookstores were still a thing. One night, a caller says he thinks he might be gay and is considering self-harm. We were not a crisis center, but if we're talking, he's safe, right? So I talk to this guy and I answer questions, and I try to be encouraging, and I'm maybe sounding a little frantic, and I'm definitely ignoring the 4 to 5 customers in the store. And this angel of a woman puts her hand on my shoulder and asks for the phone. "My turn," she says. And she, this 50-something lesbian, talks to this stranger on the phone, and a line forms behind her. Every customer in that store knows that call, knows that feeling, and every person takes a turn talking to that man. The story comforts me so much to this day. As people of faith, we can spontaneously form support groups, committees, and micro-communities of faith when urgent needs appear. Stories of our faith in action can comfort and heal aching hearts. Ken Wilson, the author of A Letter to My Congregation, tells the story of his daughter, Grace. His daughter was in a science class, which was taught by a devout Catholic teacher. A student asked the teacher what he thought about homosexuality. The teacher replied that homosexuality is morally disordered. Grace looked over and saw a boy who identified as gay starting to cry. To Grace's credit, she stood up and said, "Well, both of my parents are pastors, and I don't know what they think about this, but I know that Jesus accepted all people." Through tears, the teen said, "Grace, you're my hero. And that day, Grace lived up to her name. That day, Grace became Grace incarnate. Today, my hope and prayer is that each reader of Whosoever will be Grace incarnate, grace wrapped in flesh, the kind of grace that has people saying about them and about members of the queer and trans communities, you are my hero. Today, dear friends, tell one of your LGBTQ friends or family that you love them and that God loves them too. Bring them to church and let them live and love side by side with us, showing that God's love and justice is for all people. God bless you all, and may you always be open and welcome and loving to all people who cross your paths. Have a beautiful day.